Attention, Patriots fans! Breaking news coming straight from behind the scenes of Patriots Nation. Things are heating up, and all signs point to some major changes on the way. Could we be on the verge of a leadership shakeup, a blockbuster trade, or maybe a bold new plan to take the Pats back to the top of the AFC? But before we dive in, if you believe the Patriots have what it takes to make it to the next Super Bowl, smash that like button right now. It's quick and it really helps the channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, join our Patriots family by hitting that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment. What do you think is the biggest challenge the Patriots need to overcome this season? Is it the offense, the defense, or the coaching staff? Stay tuned because breaking news can drop here at any moment. So make sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Let's show the power of the most passionate fan base in the NFL. And remember, faith moves mountains and pushes this team to the Super Bowl. If you're the kind of fan who never gives up, this video is for you. Go Pats! Something unusual just happened in Foxborough, and it may speak louder about the future of this team than any blockbuster trade or headline signing. Right after rookie minicamp, while most fans were still parsing through highlight clips and speculation, Elliott Wolf, Mike Vrabel, and the Patriots coaching staff made 4 roster decisions that could quietly shape the makeup of this squad heading into one of the most uncertain seasons in recent memory. Let's start with what most people missed. 3 signings, 1 release. All seemingly minor, but dig deeper and a pattern begins to emerge. A story that should matter to every Patriots fan wondering how this team plans to stay competitive in the AFC East. First up is a name that probably won't ring bells just yet. Isaiah Eiton, defensive tackle, Rutgers product. He spent last season with the Tennessee Titans on their practice squad. Never saw a snap in a real NFL game. Most fans would overlook him, and in fairness, it's easy to dismiss practice squad pickups as filler, but let's not rush past the context here. Eiton isn't new to the grind. He's been through an NFL camp, survived long enough to be re-signed to a practice unit, and he knows exactly what's required on the inside. The drills, the film study, the mental toughness to push forward without game day glory. At Rutgers, his 2023 stats were modest but respectable for an interior lineman. 38 total tackles, 2 for loss, half a sack and a pass deflection. Nothing flashy, but here's what's compelling. The Patriots didn't just sign Eiton out of the blue. There's a direct thread here. A.J. Highsmith, the Patriots' newly appointed director of pro scouting, was with the Titans last year. He saw Eiton up close. That inside perspective means something. It suggests Eiton made enough of an impression in Tennessee's system to stick in the mind of someone now helping rebuild New England's trenches.
Now, does that mean Eiton will make the 53-man roster? Probably not. The coaching staff seems to be treating him as a developmental or scout team body, but the underlying theme here is depth. The Patriots are not just kicking tires, they're anticipating something bigger, maybe even bracing for a worst-case scenario. That scenario? Christian Barmore's health. Everyone in New England is rooting for the star defensive tackle to be fully healthy, but blood clots are serious. They don't just go away with treatment and good vibes. If Barmore's condition sidelines him for any part of 2025, the Patriots will need contingency plans. Signing not 1, but 2 defensive tackles right after minicamp is not a coincidence. It's a signal, which brings us to signing number 2, Wilfred Penny, defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. On paper, Penny might be the more exciting pickup. 33 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss in 2024. He produced, and here's the twist, Penny qualifies for the NFL's international player exemption. Born in France but raised and trained in the U.S., he gives New England the ability to carry a 91st, and now 92nd, man on the roster, even when the rest of the league is capped at 90. This exemption matters. It means Penny doesn't cost the team a spot. They can develop him, let him absorb the playbook, work with Terrell Williams on the line, and see if he grows into a rotational player. There's no downside here, and potentially a lot of upside. When you add in his production and athletic profile, you start to wonder, could Penny be more than a camp body? Could he be one of those rare international players who breaks through? Penny also didn't just wander in by accident. The Patriots identified him before the draft even wrapped. They moved to sign him on April 26th. Because of his international status, the deal didn't process until May 12th. But he was already there at rookie minicamp, already catching eyes, already pushing for a real shot. He has a better-than-average chance to stick around. not just because of his exemption, but because of the Patriots' thin depth on the interior defensive line. Let's not ignore the broader strategy here. 2 defensive tackles signed, back-to-back, after camp. This is more than adding competition. This is insurance. It's plan B and plan C in case Barmore's health situation deteriorates. And don't forget, Milton Williams is the only proven tackle guaranteed to start at this point. If the Patriots shift toward a more 4-3 oriented scheme, they'll need big bodies inside, not just starters, but quality depth. And right now, outside of Barmore and Williams, the cupboard is dangerously bare. But it wasn't just about the D-line. The third signing was on the other side of the trenches, offensive lineman Maye Butler. Not a name many had circled coming into minicamp. He's an undrafted free agent out of Arkansas State. He showed up, played guard, and apparently impressed Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel enough to earn a contract offer. That alone tells you something. Butler's profile is quietly promising. 6 feet 3 inches, 320 pounds, NFL size. And the analytics guys will love this. His PFF grades are consistent across the board. A 76 overall grade, 76 in pass protection, 76 in run blocking, and only 1 sack allowed all season. For an undrafted interior lineman, that's solid. Really solid. The Patriots are starving for guard depth. Michael Onwenu is locked in at right guard. But after that, it gets sketchy fast. And don't expect first-round pick Will Campbell to slide inside. The team has kept him at left tackle throughout minicamp. That means guys like Butler suddenly become important. Maybe not starters. Maybe not even on the 53. But the gap between roster bubble and Week 12 injury replacement in the NFL is razor thin. Butler is in that pipeline now. He's earned a shot. And of course, with every addition, there's a subtraction. The odd man out? Cole Berto, tackle out of Merrimack College. Released after minicamp. Clearly, the coaching staff didn't see enough to keep him around. He's now a free agent. We wish him the best, and maybe he finds another opportunity elsewhere. But it's a reminder, this roster is not static. Every day from now until camp, someone's fighting for a job. Someone's losing one. As of now, the Patriots are sitting at 92 players. That's 2 above the standard 90-man offseason limit, and that's only possible because of Penny's international status. No more signings can happen unless another player is released or another exemption comes into play. So what happens next? This is where it gets interesting. New England historically churns the bottom of the roster aggressively. Elliott Wolf and company are going to keep tweaking, cutting, adding, testing. Don't get too attached to names 80 through 92. This is about finding gems, stashing depth, and building options, especially on the lines. So let's bring it all back. Why should you, as a Patriots fan, care about 3 undrafted free agents and 1 cut tackle? Because it's a window into what this team values. Toughness, upside, depth, and contingency plans. Nothing about these moves screams headline, but they whisper something more important, that this front office is watching, adapting, and preparing for every possible scenario, especially the ones they hope never happen. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think these low-key signings matter? Are the Patriots making smart moves behind the scenes? Or are these just camp bodies destined for the cut list? Drop your thoughts in